We're here with Ed Miliband, who's down at the Transport Catapult building. Ed, can you just tell us a bit more about what you've been discussing here today to do with devolution?
Well, we've been talking about how we can build a recovery that doesn't just reach the City of London, but reaches the kitchen tables of people here in Milton Keynes. And the way we do that is by giving more power to local people, the things that matter to them. And this catapult is a fantastic example of what we can do if we give more resources to local people, get that money out of Whitehall and Westminster and actually spend it locally. That's what we're going to do. That's what our plan involves. Economic development, transport, skills, the things that matter to people here in Milton Keynes.
What are the specific examples that you're thinking, of specific powers that you're thinking of devolving?
Let me give you a very concrete example. When it comes to young people and the skills they have, I don't think that money should be determined in Whitehall. There's people locally, businesses locally, that are going to know what are the skills we need. How are we going to create those high-skill, high-wage jobs, not zero-hours contracts jobs that actually local people want, young people want, and are going to make us better off as a country. So that's the kind of power, that's the kind of resources that we would devolve down to people here in Milton Keynes.
We've had a press release over from the local Conservative MP in Stewart, who said that the issue of devolution is kind of swinging away from English votes for English people. Would you say that you're addressing that subject as well?
I think we should look at that subject, and I've said we need a constitutional convention to look at that. But, I've got to say, I think the local Tory MP is part of a government that's failed. It's failed the people of Milton Keynes. We've got low-skill, low-wage employment. We haven't built the high-skill, high-wage economy that we need. We haven't devolved power down. And I think the really problematic thing is the prospect of another 5 years of a Conservative government with falling living standards, an NHS going backwards, and not answering the needs of people here in Milton Keynes. I think we need a different plan, a better plan for a better future. That's what Labour offers.
This isn't specifically to do with devolution, but I'm sure you're aware of, having visited Milton Keynes many times before, that there is a housing crisis in the city. What are Labour's plans to try and ease that crisis?
Well, I'm very proud of our plans to build 200,000 homes a year across our country. I was proud to come to Milton Keynes to launch that plan. And part of that plan is saying, when planning permission is granted locally, including here in Milton Keynes, let's give councils the power to set aside housing for local people, not out-of-town buy-to-let. Because I think one of the big frustrations for local people is when the houses get built, but they don't get access to the housing. That's one of the things that we want to change. Stopping developers sitting on land, waiting for it to accumulate in value, giving councils powers to actually make sure they can build on that land. So we've got a plan to build housing. I think it's necessary, vital in fact, for Milton Keynes.